if at any point the people in your life have been calling you unrealistic, a dreamer, or, crazy, delusional, I want you to understand that Nikolai Tesla, Henry Ford, Kanye West is being called crazy even to this day. Napoleon, I'm sure he was called crazy at some point. Alexander the Great. All these people who did these great things. Some people that created amazing things like Henry Ford, right? All of these people, they have been called crazy. I truly want you to understand that. These people to who we have the light bulb, thankfully, because of them, because of people like Nikolai Tesla. People who we have cars thanks to. People who invented such great things 100 years ago, saying that you can have such a small little thing like, like a little bit of I don't even know how the rectangle, how do you Americans call it? I don't know. Anyways, that you can put this thing to your ear and a person on the other side of the world can hear you would be called crazy. Okay, this is the analogy and the example that Max Lewis gave in the podcast I did with him. So that was like, maybe I'll put a clip up when he spoke about his opinion on being realistic. So some people, like, there are two types of people with goals, like the ones that are realistic and then ones that are dreaming big or thinking big. It's like you have to have a certain balance between these. But what do you think? What separates like being realistic from thinking and dreaming really big, like being like
I hate the word and I don't like when people think they're realistic or unrealistic because it's a bunch of shit. People. So for example, things that were, for example, like this phone conversation right now. We are using phone. I'm using a phone. You're probably using a PC.
Yeah.
That's made out of minerals and rocks and shit like that. And with that technology, you're speaking to me from across the world.
Yeah.
There's no wires here. There's no connection. It's Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and all this shit. How does that work? Well, the first people who had those ideas, if you said, "Hey, would it be realistic to get some rocks and some minerals, put them together, and talk to someone on the other side of the world? Say, listen, you're a fucking lunatic. You're crazy. And guess what? That's not realistic." so it's only unrealistic until you do it. It's only unrealistic until you do it. There's a million ideas, a million technologies, a million things that people have done that were unrealistic. And then once you do it, guess what? It's not. So I that term because it's limiting. And you don't have limits. You don't have limits. You can do whatever you want. Look at fucking Elon Musk talking about going on Mars.
Yeah.
People think he's crazy. He's going to do it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
At some point, maybe not in our lifetime, maybe in our lifetime, but at some point it'll happen, right? And then it won't be so crazy anymore.
Yeah, like honestly, again, even 100, 200 years ago, if you told this example that you just gave, people would call you crazy. So people calling,
they would kill you. They'd say that you're a witch, and they'd say that you're a witch, and they'd kill you. That's why they used to handle it. Hey, they'd say you were a witch, and they'd kill you. Oh, this guy's talking about making some crazy shit. Hang him.
Yeah. So when, like, as you gave an example, Elon thinking about going to Mars, people saying that's unrealistic. Honestly, with the technology I think is gonna be in the future, I do not think that that's gonna be unrealistic by any means. I honestly can't even imagine. Like, there are like some disease that can't be treated right now. I highly believe that in 100 years from now, the medicine is gonna be so high level that there is gonna be a cure for that. So a lot of things that we cannot see right now, it's like those primal ancestors, what they could not see, what we have right now. So I think that a lot of these ideas are just realistic, especially as the world moves on.
Absolutely. So that question, there's no such thing as unrealistic.
So, and that was a really good opinion, in my opinion, a really good answer for that question. If you're doing something that hasn't been done before, you're obviously going to be called crazy. you know, because people cannot imagine it. If you now say that you're going to be the first millionaire in our family or in this town or whatever, and you don't have any family members from your family that are millionaires, it hasn't been done before in your family, they don't think that it's possible. They don't think that you're going to be the odd one out, especially if you have cousins or whatever that already said that they were going to be millionaires when they were younger, right? So this is why I always tell you, keep it a secret. Don't tell these people about it, because they will just decline you. They will just completely decline whatever you say you're gonna. They'll just like maybe even bash it down, right? The reason why I'm telling you to not tell them is also because they will try to make you fail on like, not by accident, on purpose. They will try to make it harder for you. They will try to insult you, to put you down. They will try their best to make sure that you quit. Why? Because your ambitions are scaring them. Because they know that they are too weak to wake up at 4 a.m., take cold showers, and do all of that consistently. Because anybody can do that for a day, for a week, for a month. But doing that consistently for a year, nobody can. Okay? There are very few select people that can do that. And they don't want to. You being able to do what they can't do shines a direct spotlight on all of their inadequacies. And that's why they do not want you to even attempt. Because that chance of you shining a direct spotlight on their inadequacies scares them. This is by the way, a quote from Myron Gaines. So don't expect me to be such a genius to have come up with that. Your ambitions shine a direct spotlight on their inadequacies. Shout out to Myron for saying that. Lazy people can't relate to you. This is like one of the modules that I had inside of Biomastery. It's lazy people cannot relate at all. They will say you've changed. They will say you have a midlife crisis if you're older. How crazy is that? A man who's sick and tired of being sick and tired his whole life, he's gonna be called, or say that people are gonna say that he's having a midlife crisis just because he's had enough of his whole life, okay, of his depressing, miserable life. And people will try to put him down. This is why you should not tell people about your pursuits until you have some results that you can show them. And even then, are those results enough for them to see that? But even like, you shouldn't care about this. This is where the power is in removing the fear of what they are going to think about you. The missing banister theory from Kanye West, he spoke about this on Joe Rogan. We can all tightrope walk. So you can have a straight line and you can walk it just fine. But then you put that straight line on a tightrope, 20 stories high, the same straight line. And the idea of failing is going to scare you so much to the point that it will make you fail. It will make you fall, sorry. So that's where the superpower is into removing the fear. I've pretty much quoted Kanye on this one, I'm not quite sure. And Kanye is a guy that's been called crazy, right? Of course he's been called crazy. Alex Jones, Andrew Tate, these guys have been called crazy as well. Like, don't think that they have not. What I will tell you about your parents and all of these unambitious people that kind of settle in life is they don't know any better. Okay? I've been thinking about making a video with this title, but I'm just going to say in this video, they don't know any better. This is why you don't tell anyone. They will try to stop you. And the funny thing is, when you do prove them wrong, they won't care anymore. This is why you have to stop giving a fuck. They will not care when you do make it. It's interesting, right? They like to hate on you now, but if when you make it, they cannot directly benefit from it, you will not be giving them money, they will not care. They will actually kind of prey on your downfall. So this is why, if they're not supportive of you, don't care too much about what they think. Because if someone is actually supportive of you, they will give you their honest feedback on your product, on your YouTube channel, on whatever you're doing, and they will give you constructive criticism that will be inspired for you to improve. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind next time you want to give a shit about what somebody has to think about what you're currently doing. Do they care about me? Do they want me to succeed? Or do they want to stop me and they are insulting me because they don't want me to succeed? Okay? Think about that. I'm gonna leave you with this. I do think that it's enough for you to think about. It's like, bro, anybody would think that I'm fucking stupid, fucking recording videos at 4:30 in the morning, right? Like, you know, like anybody could think that I'm fucking like retarded from doing this. But it has gained me great results, and I know the purpose behind it. And all the successful people that I've interviewed, they agree with me. And those people's opinions I value. It's not because I don't care about the other people in my life that are maybe not as ambitious. I do care about them, but their business advice is shit because they don't have a successful business. So why would I take advice from them when I can take advice from people that have successful businesses that are 6, 7, and 8 figures that I've interviewed and spoke to them for hours on end? Those are the people I should take advice from. So be careful with who you take advice from, and also be careful with whose opinions you value in which topic. So with this in mind, may God bless you. I'll see you on the next one.